I've always thought claymation movies were really cool. I think the first one I ever saw was The Nightmare Before Christmas. I said to my dad, how can they just have these characters made out of clay and yet they can film them and move them seamlessly? Well, that sentence got me really interested in claymation. So the big question is, what is claymation and how does it work? My name is Izzy Berman, and I chose this project because I really wanted to explore what animators go through and how they can film claymation movies. So, what is claymation? Actually, before I get to that, a friend of mine wants to share with you all the information he learned. Take it away.
Oh, hello there. My name is Clay. Ironic, right? As you can clearly see, I am made of clay. Let me tell you about something called claymation. Claymation, short for clay animation, uses lots and lots of stop motion techniques. Because really, claymation is stop motion. When you have your clay figure / puppet, you want to move it little by little in the movement it is supposed to be making. And with each movement, you will take a picture, which is called a frame. No, not that kind of frame. Hundreds of frames can be used for even just a minute of the movie. Fun fact, for the popular claymation movie Chicken Run, they used about 240 frames for just 10 seconds of the film. Other claymation movies like Coraline, The Nightmare Before Christmas, or The Box Trolls use these techniques as well.
Thanks, Clay. Now back to me, where I'm going to tell you some more about claymation. How does claymation work? If you've ever seen a claymation movie, you can see that it is a little patchy and not entirely seamless. That's because, as you probably guessed and heard, every single movement has to be captured. So let's say your or the character is going to wave his or her hands. You'll take a shot of it just standing still, and then you'll raise his or her arm up just a little bit. Take a shot, and then again in the next frame, and then the next, and then the next, and the next. So you get the idea, right? You may be wondering if all the sets and props in claymation movies are also made of clay. Well, let's take a look at Coraline walking around a forest of cherry blossoms from the movie Coraline, made in the year 2009. These cherry blossoms are actually made of popcorn. The actual flowers are just popcorn sprayed pink. Also, for a scene in the movie Coraline where a flower has to bloom, an animator had an idea to have the flower bloom easily by using a dog toy. This yellow thing with the white spots on it is actually a dog toy with petals stuck on it, and the dog toy is cut in half. In my opinion, of all the things I've learned, the most important is figuring out how much to move your character per frame. For example, if you want your character to wave his or her hand, you're not going to have it wave all glitchy and patchy and not seamless. So, if someone saw you waving like that, they'd be like, just gonna walk the other way. So you have to lift the arm up carefully, have it set so that it doesn't fall down, and then you're not gonna lift it all the way up from there. You'll think, okay, so now it should just be a tiny bit above where it is now, so that's not a big gap. That's what I would think. I encourage you guys to try claymation, or even just try building a clay character. I recommend using Sculpey Clay, which is a great modeling clay, and it doesn't harden or anything like that. You can buy it at Michael's, where it's $1 a square. You don't need many tools to help build a clay character. As you could see on my friend Clay, he doesn't even have a face. So, all you need is your fingers and your creativity. Thank you all for listening to my presentation. I want to thank my parents for helping me with the idea for the claymation video, my teachers for inspiring me to try something new, and Melissa Goodwin-Shepherd, who's an animator and who I interviewed, and she gave me all of this great information about frames and claymation movies, and all of that information has helped me so much through this journey and process. Thank you again for listening to my presentation.
survey in my class, and it turns out no one knows what Alzheimer's disease is, whereas I grew up with a grandmother who has Alzheimer's disease, and I know a lot about it. Alzheimer's disease has been around for over a century, and we still have no cure. Yes, we have come close to one. In fact, around a week ago, we came across possible cure, but we're still testing. We even have a whole day dedicated to raising money for finding a cure for Alzheimer's disease. On that day, we have an Alzheimer's walk. An Alzheimer's walk is when people walking around in a group wear purple shirts that say "Fight for Alzheimer's" or "Alzheimer's Awareness." While we are searching for a cure, we're finding more and more information about the disease, which means they're close. But each year, we're finding more cases. By the year 2050, we could have over 500 million cases. Alzheimer's disease is becoming way too common, and it is not good. My main question is, why do we not have a cure for Alzheimer's disease yet? Hello, my name is Cheryl Frazier, and I chose to do Alzheimer's disease, and why we do not have a cure for my Capstone project, because my grandmother has disease, and I want to know more about it. My first question was, who discovered Alzheimer's disease? Alzheimer's disease was discovered in 1906 when a German doctor, Dr. Alice Alzheimer, noticed some abnormal behavior in one of his patients. The patient was having short-term memory loss, mood changes, sleeping problems, and was depressed a lot. Once the patient sadly died, Dr. Alzheimer started to study the brain of that patient. Dr. Alzheimer found that two proteins called beta-amyloid and tau were making plaques and tangles. These plaques and tangles were causing malfunctions in the brain, leading to the brain functioning wrong. Nowadays, Alzheimer's disease still has no cure and has been around for over a century. This disease is the most expensive disease. Alzheimer's disease is the third most deadly disease behind cancer and heart attacks. Alzheimer's disease is becoming more and more common by the second. Every second, someone new is diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, and every second, someone new dies from Alzheimer's disease. We are now learning that Alzheimer's disease has connections to other diseases, such as dementia and cancer. My second question was, what are all the stages and what are the different symptoms? There are 7 stages in Alzheimer's disease. Most people are around stage 4 when they're diagnosed. People at stage 7 have 8 to 20 years to live. The first stage of Alzheimer's disease is when your symptoms are not really showing. The second stage is when your problems seem age-related. The third stage is when your family knows some problems. You're forgetting names, plans, and words. The fourth stage is when you are diagnosed and you have short-term memory loss. The fifth stage is when you most likely need an aid. The sixth stage is when you need 24/7 care. And the seventh stage, the last stage, is when you're forgetting basic needs. For example, how to walk, chew, drink, read, and worst of all, breathe. You're nearing death, and you most likely forget how to speak. Of course, everybody has the same stages, but everyone goes at different paces and has different symptoms as well. Stages 1 through 4 are not that bad. People tend to worry, but it's not the worst part. Whereas stages 5 through 7 are when people worry a lot. Caffeine is not the best for you. It keeps you up at night and it stunts your mental growth, although a lot of doctors say that it could help prevent or slow down the disease. After doing a lot of research, the thing that had the most impact on me was the fact that Alzheimer's patients can't get better. Even if we come up with a good enough cure, not everyone will be able to use it. Most people past stage 4 will be too far along to cure. After talking to a doctor named Dr. Glassman, she told me that when she tells patients that they have Alzheimer's disease or they're getting worse, she just feels sad and uncomfortable. My grandmother has Alzheimer's disease. It makes me really sad to know that she can't speak to me. When she says my name or just laughs, it lights up my face and makes my day. If you want to help, please donate to Alzheimer's Association, participate in the Alzheimer's Walk, or check out my Padlet. With that, my grandmother, my mother, my teachers, and Dr. Glassman, my capstone presentation would not be possible. Thank you, and goodbye.